Crystallising.
Just sat there. It's cold and wet. I had my thing on, but it's already wet. Oh, it was reasonably warm. Feet. Testing yesterday, horrible raining.
Feed and we might try and get some traction with that bit of business.
You just go on the balances.
Yeah, the AFRC.
Said practice yesterday. Sign off has been dreadful. Trucks have been out. Left to smear the diesel. Yeah. Smear the diesel. Lots of cars have been out. Start doing it in the qualifying days, C5
I need to, I'm trying to find it on Facebook.
Can I find it for you?
Yeah, where
You just go to the AFRC.
yeah.
Can you read that? To me, it makes no sense.
Oh, do you not like the read already? I'm not going into your dodgy group, I'm going to go into the other bit. Yeah, I wanted the other one.
Like kill feeds offside, is that standard or kill feeds off the side?
I can only find a Burkett one, sorry Rich, and I don't want to go through all your
Good evening.
Hello. Only one person.
Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Just going to start with a quick thank you to the chefs for sorting out your food tonight. If you haven't had your food yet, there's still plenty going on. We've got one quick award because the winner of Class A and the overall race winner from our 45-minute round 4 earlier was in road sports. So Mark's here from Race to the Finish. He's just going to quickly pass out that Class A victory trophy to either Wayne Lewis or Paul Cook or both. So that brings us on to the end of the inaugural AFRC Championship, and we've just got a few bits and bobs to go through, which, if Max gives us a slide, we're just going to do some season statistics of what we've done. Did some stats last year, but I've gone a little bit different this year. Got some thanks to give out. A quick talk about 2018, the championship table before today, and then we'll do some winners. So this year we went to Donington on the GP circuit, 2.49 miles long, 35 competitors, 23 laps, and we did 1,668.3 miles. Then we went to Silverstone, 1.64 miles, 35 competitors again, 37 laps of the leader, 1,894.2. Then we went to Cadwell in July, 2.18, 26 competitors started. The leader did 25 laps and did 1,161.3. Today, we had 30 competitors start to do the 2.05 ISSL long, and the leader did 26 laps, and that was 1,404.25, which brings our season total of competitive laps to 6,128 miles. I just thought I'd throw something in to different. So we've done 6,000 competitive miles as a championship this year. There's nothing on the thanks slide, apart from some notes on a bit of paper. Each service team that we've got have our own individual thanks to give out at the end of the year and for our support. This thanks is just from a championship and from a club that doesn't do those thanks because our services will do those individually. To put something like this on, we've got a lot of cogs. It's a machine made up of a lot of cogs, and as soon as you lose one of those cogs, then the machine doesn't do what it's supposed to do. I just jotted them down on when I was flying back on Thursday, so there's no order of preference. I just thrashed away at a keyboard and emailed it to Nikki, and Nikki let me print it off without her seeing it. So when I took this over 3 years ago, I spoke to Giles at Autosport. Perfect. He's probably watching on Facebook. Thank you, Martin. I took this over at Autosport and I had a conversation with Giles and said, this is what I want to do. This is how much money I don't have. And I want to try to develop something to bring people on with an ultimate aim of doing the work at the end of the year. So Giles and Nikki, as it was before James joined the fold, put something together for us, which worked. And there's a few people here today that were at Silverstone in May 14. They've been very, very accommodating. Giles describes me as a little puppy. So you give the little puppy a bone, and he'll come back next week and he'll want 2 bones. So, yeah. They've been patient. The admin's not always the best, but they'll do, as in, from my side, when I'm sewn in at 7:50, my admin is not always the best. It's a bit late. Please can you sort us out, and they will do, and they'll help us out. they've administered us very good and safe grids. They've delivered us good races, most of the time on time, but that's not their fault when people lose wheels on green flag laps and stuff like today. They do, and that wasn't anybody here, that was another race today. But when something goes wrong, it's not generally their fault. They just take the rap of everybody else complaining that the race is run 20 minutes behind because somebody couldn't do what they were supposed to do. Giles, Nicky and James, they do work tirelessly behind the scenes. It's 3 people in full-time jobs to deliver what they do. As a championship and as a group of competitors and supporters, I just want to thank them for what they do for us. So they do that Monday to Friday and pester you all, send you all emails, but then on the weekend you have volunteers, you've got clerks, you've got stewards, you've got timekeepers and marshals, and if you look through the blue book, anything in the directory at the back, if you don't have that directory of people at the back, you can't put on these kind of meetings. The scrutineers, I don't think we've got a scrutineer tonight, but the scrutineers have serviced us really well this year. Like Bob and his team have come up for a brew and just so happened to scrutineer 30 cars while they're here the night before the race meeting. Yeah, they've been great, and if somebody could just pass our thanks on to those, that'd be great. Thank you. Keith is sat here. Keith came up to me at Autosport this year and said, "You put on the website you wanted a webmaster. Can I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, all right. Do you know anything about this?" And he said a load of words to me, and I didn't understand what he was saying. So I went, "Yeah, all right. You could do the website because you know what he's talking about," and I just sort of thrown it all together. Keith's done an amazing job of not just developing the site for what you see, but when we administered our own entries this year and there was over £60,000 to turn over in entry fees, Keith put something together pretty special at no cost, which probably saved me about 20 hours a week trying to send invoices and emails out. So thank you very much, Keith. That was mega. Mark and Amanda are here from Race to the Finish. They've been helping us out now. This is the end of the 2nd year that they've been helping us with our trophies. They basically go just buy all the bits of Formula 1 cars that nobody wants and goes around the country selling them. But they've donated and sponsored our trophies now for the 2nd year. We've got some pretty special trophies. We've got Formula 1 brake discs and oil pump seals and valves, bits of gearbox that are all presented nice with plaques on. For the championship, for the novice championship, we've got an exhaust header out of titanium that's went into a desk tidy, and then we've got a Mercedes Formula 1 wheel, which isn't to keep, that's to pass on for the next year with an additional plaque. So thank you very much, Mark and Amanda. It's great to have them on the events because they enjoy it. I hope, and I certainly enjoyed dealing with them and having them along. Thank you. So what started out as quite a wacky idea last year when one of our rounds coincidentally, and it was completely by accident, landed on Armed Forces Day at Snetterton. I rang Andy up from Podium Prep and said, can you do something? Because MSV, which MSV were very generous in agreeing to let anybody with an ID card through the gates to register as an Armed Forces Day event. We wanted to put something on with a little bit of help from people externally that I'll just go on to in the next bullets. But Andy and Rob have serviced us since Snetterton last year, not missed a round, done every round since then. Putting this up in the rain and the dark at Donington when Andy couldn't be there. and not just what he's done for this, but just the investment and development that he's put into it, going out and buying lighting, going out and buying flooring, putting a PA system in. Yeah, we're really grateful, and without that input that brings the whole paddock together, I don't think we would be where we are now. So thank you very much. Good mate of mine, Andrew Stacey, is not here today because he's driving a Citroen C1 to Tesco's, but he's getting stuck going around Cadwell Park for 2 hours at a time. So he's racing the C1 Endurance Series this weekend. Andrew's sponsored all your stickers, all the championship stickers this year, the AFRC stickers, and all your brews that you've been drinking and the cups and stuff. So Andrew's done all that for us because he likes being involved with us. And although he's not here to say thank you, hopefully he might be awake to be on Facebook. A chap called Phil Robinson came to the Burkett in 2011, I think, when the RF won it overall on handicap, and he got dragged along by an Air Force chap that worked with him, as Remy. In 2012, he turned up on what was then the RF MSA Race Challenge with a Peugeot 306 that they prepared over winter. Had pretty much turned the track day car into a fully serviced race car. I don't know who'd been talking to recommend him into a 306 at the Burkett in 2011, but Phil raced with us for a year and a half. He ended up leaving the army, and due to other commitments, he's not been back. Phil was the chap that made Armed Forces Day at Snetterton happen. Without Phil and Bowmore Consulting, we wouldn't have been able to put on what we did at Armed Forces Day. And due to a lower entry than what was forecast this weekend, we certainly wouldn't have this evening tonight for Phil. Unfortunately, he can't be with us today, but I just wanted to pass the thanks over for Phil for what he'd done. Max is here, professional space bar presser for the PowerPoint. He's also a professional racing driver, been doing your coaching for the year, apart from Cadwell when he had something more important to do. Max jumped on board at Croft when we put our training camp on last year, and he's done whatever he can to try and keep it going. The glamorous lifestyle of a racing driver involves driving up and down the country in a Renault Clio diesel and kipping either in the back of a truck or in whatever digs you can get to try and service what you've said that you will do. And when he's not doing that, he's doing his job and training and satisfying sponsors. I thank you very much, Max. What you give the boys and the confidence that you managed to put into the boys, everybody appreciates it. It's great, thank you. Nick and Mark have gone home. Everybody in this paddock will know Nick and Mark, but they've been following us now for, I don't know, I've been racing with the RFMSA since 2010, and I've not seen them at a round.
They were there in 2007.
So 2007, but Nick and Mark go around every meeting, taking our photos, signing on as media. They take their expenses out, and then whatever they make from that, they pump into our Safa jars, which I've not had a chance to count up yet for this season, but we'll get that done, and then we'll get our total raised posted on social media. But I'm sure they'll see this video afterwards. But yeah, thank you very much, Nick and Mark. We've got the number of sponsors along the bottom of that slide. We've said thank you to Barring Toyo. Alan Meeker of Toyo Tyres has done us a very good deal on tyres, as you've hopefully all used. They're very quick for delivery, and they're untouchable on price. Alan also donates a free set of tyres for the championship winner. So whoever wins the championship gets a free set of tyres delivered to the address that they choose. So think Alan and Toyo deserve a thank you as well. And the last one didn't get the name on the slide, and she really wanted to be here, but she couldn't be because it was too expensive, far too expensive. But Nicola and the girls have put with quite a lot to be able to do this, quite a lot of patience. So I just want to say thank you to Nicola. So the interesting stuff, please.
Thanks, Mark.
2018 at round 1 Donington, after I found out that I'd been posted to Cyprus, I said that I couldn't continue with this after this year, put my hand up and said I welcome approaches and we'll try and find the best thing to make it work for 2018 and beyond. Giles, Nicky and James, although Nicky and James might be raising eyebrows because they've not really spoken about it yet. Giles has said 750, the team at 750 are going to administer the series next year. In short, which I'll put a fairly detailed email out to all the competitors. In short, it will change to 2 times 20-minute races per day to try and get the accommodation costs down. The main reason for that is it's a lot easier to calculate the PI because you don't have to start excluding laps and stuff, and we can automate the process. Each team captain, so Air Force, Army, Navy, will send in an authorised competitor list at the beginning of the years, which will include their veterans. At the end of this year, at the end of this season, I will email 750 a list of guests that have supported us during the last 3 years to get us where we are now, because without those guests we wouldn't be where we are. All those people on those lists will be able to enter the races, and then 750 will deliver the events with those competitors. That means going back to 750 and not complaining at me because you can't use credit cards to book your race because we just accept bank transfer, and it means that you don't have to start ringing me when I'm trying to get to bed because I'm 2 hours in front. You can ring the guys during office hours. We've not spoken about handicaps. I'm going to do a Survey Monkey after this weekend, or probably the week after next I'll do a Survey Monkey because I just want to get some ideas. And then if I throw all your ideas at 750, and then they can try and put something on that satisfies everybody's wishes. Does anybody have any questions about next year? I know I've spoken to Rich and Mark individually, and we're fairly aligned on what we think and how it's going to work. Does anybody have any questions?
This will run like a 750 Mouse Club series now, so I'd contact them if I was booking an all-comers race with them, or... Yeah,
yes.
Set.
Anything to add, Giles, Nicky, James?
Series registration done with you guys as well?
Yeah, anything that Chris wants us to.
You said yes.
We did read it. Yeah, all basic sort of admin. Yeah, all the way through us and
The majority of the work for the meeting will be done by the team captains.
So with the correspondence that you send out at the moment, that will then take it up. Where will the onus of responsibility lie? Will it lie for me to contact the 750 Mouse Club to register, or will they contact me to register for the series?
750 will open all their championships to registration in 2018.
Are we still looking at racing on Saturdays? Or is that
What,
like...
Tuesday?
No, it's just, or, you know,
I'll do a survey.
Yeah.
I'll do a survey.
Yeah.
And
I know we've travelled a lot than military.
yeah, no, I'll do a survey. That's one of the questions that we asked at the end of 15, which influenced where we're going. So I've still got that survey saved, so I'm pretty much going to repeat that to a larger audience, and then I can feed the information in, and we can try and work out the best. Is that it?
Yeah, cool.
Space bar, please.
Again?
Yeah. So this kind of went unsighted because I was a bit busy at the end of Cadwell. The championship before this weekend, for an individual point of view, has been split into two parts. There's a novice cup, which you have to drive 2 of the 4 meetings legitimately carrying a cross. You can't just not send your card in. And the novices get championship points the same as the overall championship. Keith, in his first season of racing, Keith bought a Mini at the end of last year and spent the whole of winter, every night, in freezing cold in the garage, rebuilding it and making it right. I didn't realise, but Keith, before this weekend, had actually won the Novice Cup Championship, which we'll go on to in a moment. So that's the championship table before this weekend. I've not added up the championship points for the novice because it was already settled and I didn't have a great deal of time. But the main championship table, when somebody's not sending the text on his phone, is Paul was leading. So the championship's done over 4 rounds. You get 2 scores each round, and you take your best 4 scores from 3 venues, which allows for somebody to miss a round. Paul was leading by 14 points overall from Keith and me, Billy Fletcher and Daz Smith. Top 5 were in a mathematical position of being able to win it. So that's where we were before today. Let's see if I've done my PowerPoint right. When Max presses space.
Done well. Ready?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah. Results from today, because you can all see that. We'll just knock straight into today's PI, which are the brake discs off the Formula 1 cars. I came 3rd. It's not where I wanted to go. In 2nd, in his first stint, because he didn't get a puncture in his first stint, but he did in his 2nd stint. Chris Camp came 2nd. So our 2014 final round winner in his Peugeot 306, that was also leading the championship before this round, is Paul Waterhouse. So,
Speech.
no. I'm not being nasty. Alright. I've got another trophy to give out. So on Thursday, and I'm sat there with my headphones on and my laptop and I'm trying to put this PowerPoint together. I hope this has worked. We will go into either teams or novice. So the Novice Cup, press space.
Press space again.
It's not worked, is it?
Hang on.
No, just press space.
Up.
Click the speaker.
Up.
No. Yeah. Press space. Just press play. And then press space 4 times. 4 times. Go back and there we go. Press play.
What's going to happen?
Now 3 times. Sorry. Sorry about that. So Keith came first in the championship at the end of Cadwell, and he's got an exhaust titanium header made as a test site. So we've got to make it finish. It's a desk lady.
Oh, so it comes with a room.
That goes on all your stationery in it. Well done, Keith. Keith has worked hard, and he's, like I say, he's been developing the website, developing his car, and developing himself. He's probably one of the first in the queue to max after qualifying, and he's constantly looking through his stuff. Would you like to say any words, Keith?
That's why he's won.
Yeah, quickly, actually. No, as Chris said, I would like to pass on my congratulations to thanks to 750, all the marshals, and actually all the other competitors. And on behalf of all the novices, thanks for everyone for making our season pretty easy, actually, and allowing us to learn around some more seasoned racers and allow us to make mistakes without repercussions or too many repercussions in the paddock. So thank you very much to all those more professional racers, allowed us to learn our racecraft. But more importantly, I've got to thank basically my other half as well for her support throughout all this, to allow me to go racing, her humour, good grace, and all the hours she's lost without me over the winter and over this year as well. So thank you, Sarah.
So we got a spoiler for the Teams Championship. For the Teams PI, we take an average of all those team members' PI and then add them together, so the perfect score is 400. Veterans have come out on top at 390. The Air Force have come second, followed by the Navy and the Marines, and then the Army. That's it. The veterans are old. So the overall championship should give us a little speaker that Max then needs to press play, and then we need somebody to walk forward.
Oh. 3 times.
So Paul was leading before today, and he walked into today and then took the victory to completely seal it. Well done, Paul. Not only has Paul been collecting Formula 1 brake discs this year, he's also been collecting Formula 1 oil pump seals, because he's generally been fighting quite hard in Class C. He's been racing a couple of 100 years, I think. But it just proves that you can be extremely consistent and be quick at the same time in whatever you're racing. So, well done, Paul. Oh, just before I go, the championship trophy is either a front or a rear. It's a rear wheel off a Mercedes Formula One car. It's okay, Rachel, you don't get to keep it, so it doesn't have to clog the room up, but it does have to give it back next year once we've got his plaque put on, unless he wins it again. You get a Metro. Well done.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo exactly what Chris has said. Thanks to 750 Motor Club, thanks to everybody here, and particularly Chris. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. This is fantastic what's put on. I mean, a race with the classic touring cars, it's not a patch on what you guys have got here, so well done, Chris. Thanks very much. I also like the fact that he's put himself behind me on the photo just to get a bit of recognition there. Yeah, it's been great racing with you guys, really, really enjoyable, but I also have to do some thanks as well. Big thanks to my family for putting up with me, keep motor racing year after year. Yeah, perhaps, you know, there's another car on the agenda or whatever. Yeah, they put up with me. But I have to thank Mr. Water Biscuit Senior, who's hiding at the back. I certainly couldn't do this without him. It's his car, it's not my car. He prepares it for me tirelessly, but he lets me know that he prepares it for me tirelessly. But it is appreciated, Dad. Thank you very much.
Then I think, if you press space,